Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Oils for Winter Wellness. So I think the first thing to note here is that we are spoiled for choice with Young Living and what they produce for us. And I could talk for days on the products and the options we have to support our well-being. So tonight I just picked a few favourites. I was going to sort of suss out people on the call and see if they were new oilers or seasoned oilers. And I think you're all fairly experienced. So I've got a couple of sort of old favourites. Yeah, well seasoned, Tina. Couple of old favourites and a couple that may not be ones that you have heard to use. So we'll see how we go. Hi, Barb. How are you? And then if anyone has any questions at the end, you can hit me up. And I forgot my page of recipes, but that's okay. I can post them later. So before we start, I, like many of you, assume you've probably had a pretty busy day. So I'd like to just invite you to grab an oil, pop a drop in your hand, and we'll just settle into the space and go from there. Oh, she puts a hand on white Angelica. So just put a drop of oil in your hand. Make yourself comfortable wherever you are. Give it a bit of a rub to activate it. And then just cup over your nose, close your eyes, relax into your chair if you're sitting, feel your feet firmly on the ground if you're sitting or standing. And just take a deep breath in through the nose and hold the breath out. Another deep breath in through the nose, right to the base of the belly, and hold the breath out. And one for good luck, deep breath in through the nose and hold the breath out. I invite you just to keep your eyes closed. Keep letting the beautiful aroma of that oil activate in your system and just really be present in this moment. You might focus on the breath. Feel the cool air going in through the nose and the warm air coming out. You might focus on the crown of your head now and just let it relax a little. Shift it now to the temples and around the eyes, the back of the eyes, and just feel that area really relax. Holding the tension there, so just really let it relax. You might want to open your eyes or move your eyebrows or just soften. Your jaw, might want to drop it down or lift it up and just soften right through that jaw. Do what feels authentic. If you want to move your head, shoulders, whatever releases all the tension in that area. Just let your tongue sit gently in your mouth. Jaw just slightly open, resting gently. Let all that pressure and tension go out of that space. Oh, that feels so good. Might want to do a little swallow and just relax the neck. And just drop your chin gently down towards your chest. This is a really big one because this releases all the pressure in the base of your skull and the back of your neck. And then just slowly return your chin to where it feels comfortable. Just focus now on your shoulders, the top part of your back. You might want to roll them or shrug them or whatever feels good, just to let the tension and the pressure go. Big breath into the chest. Feel that whole cavity expand. And as you release the breath, just let it all relax. You might feel the middle back area sort of relax as you exhale as well. Breathe deeply into the belly on the next breath. And just let that all relax as you let it go. Focus down to the pelvis now and just release any tension there. You might want to squeeze the buttocks and then just let them relax, or have a little jiggle, whatever feels good for you. There's no rules. The only rule is do what works for you. You feel into the legs with gratitude for these great legs that carry you through the day. Just feel your feet really ground into the earth, and all that pressure of the legs drain into the earth. Feet firmly on the ground. And on the next breath, draw that energy of the earth up through the bases of the feet, up through the legs, into the base of the pelvis. And as you breathe out, send it back up through the central channel. So you go up through, along the front of the spine, up through the chest, neck, and out through the crown of the head. We'll do one more central channel breath just to ground us in. So picture about 1 meter above your head and start the breath there. As you breathe in through the nose, bring it down through the crown of the head, through the back of the third eye, down the throat, through the front of the spine as you travel down to the base of the belly. And as you exhale, just push that breath down through the pelvis, through the legs and the feet, and into the earth. And when you're ready, just rub your palms together, cup them over your eyes, feel the warmth. And in your own time, open your eyes. Oh, don't know about you, but I needed that. Hopefully I wasn't talking too fast. I was like, oh, I need to slow down, but I'm so excited because it's been such a big day. Anyway, so winter wellness. Aren't we lucky to have Young Living products to support our health and well-being in so many ways, but particularly as we come into winter? I think, you could do an hour talk on Nigsha or on the supplements or on the wellness oils or just on oils in general. So like I said before, I will keep it pretty short and sweet. You can always ask any questions you want, and, pop questions under this recording if you're watching it later about anything you want to know more about, because one of my, I wouldn't say superpower, but one of my goals when I started using the oils was to find out as many uses for each oil in that starter bundle when I got it. So, if you're stuck, reach out. It'll probably help you, get maximum benefit from it. Now, I would have loved to have had a beautiful little PowerPoint to go with this, but the universe said no. So you just get to listen to me talk for the next little while. And I've even forgotten, my props haven't come in, so that's okay, it doesn't matter. So in terms of oils, I picked my top 5, and I guess these are more related to immune support for winter, and also to treat the most common ailments. Actually, it might end up being 6, but let's see how we go. So number 1 for me a week ago would have been thieves, but it's now immune power. And the reason that it's changed is that we had the luck of listening to Maria Aurora speak recently, and she spoke about immune power as being more supportive to actually immune system. I don't know how compliant I have to be here. Tina, how compliant do I have to be here? Yeah, it's sort of immune power versus thieves. Immune power is better for, I guess, activating the immune system and giving it extra power, hence the name, whereas thieves kind of helps it remember. So I guess, yeah, Jo?
I was just going to say DNL, it strengthens immunity, and DNA repair in the cells was the other part.
Yeah,
I've just
Thank
got
you.
our little. I just
Oh,
got
you legend. Thanks.
Just because you're
Yeah,
not
so
looking. Yeah.
it's probably packs a little bit more punch than thieves. I didn't think you could beat thieves, but you know, every day is a school day and you can always learn something new, can't you? So yeah, backed by a naturopath who uses it in practice a lot, Immune Power. And the way I have been using it based on that is rolling it on the chest, particularly if there's somebody else sick around me, as a bit of a barrier, and also then just a little roll on the feet most days during the change of season. So that's a good one. There have been people who pop it in a little capsule and work it that way, but I would need to do more research to tell you too much more about that. Obviously, Thieves is a powerhouse, those beautiful oils. And if you don't know the story behind Thieves, let me know and I'll tell you. But most people do. And it's really great to support wellness. And I mean, we roll that on the feet pretty much from now through till September as well. In the diffuser, it helps keep bugs out of the house. And what else do we do with it? We clean with it, all the Thieves cleaning products, of course, which is good for immune support all year round. And then if someone does get unwell, Thieves is in the diffuser on rotation with RC or eucalyptus or some sort of peppermint or frankincense to help with the airways. So Immune Power. Thieves, one that I really love and use a lot through winter is thyme. I don't know whether any of you have had a lot to do with thyme. It's really powerful in all the anti things, and it is something that I use a lot for respiratory support. So I don't know if you're into steam inhaling, but I found it was super beneficial, particularly for congested children, to get a glass bowl with some water off the boil. Just one drop is absolutely enough of time, and then just put them over it with a towel and goggles if they're too young, but mine are old enough to keep their eyes shut. So and the reason I would sometimes do thyme and RC, one drop of each, sometimes just thyme, and I also put thyme along the spine, Vitaflex points on the feet, and if it's an adult, I'll put it on the spine. I think I'm a bit more cautious with the children just because it's quite a hot oil, but we've had really great results with thyme. One word of, not warning, I guess, but caution, advice: if you're doing a steam inhalation, make sure you don't go outside for probably 2 hours after. With what I'm learning with Ayurveda training, I mean, I guess it sort of makes sense anyway, but because the heat and the steam opens up all those airways, if you were to then walk outside and it's all exposed and it's cold air and it's all those things, you just leave it at a bit more of a vulnerable place. So probably better done of an evening or first thing in the morning, well before you take off anywhere. And I guess in the middle of the day when it's a bit warmer as well, wouldn't hurt. Yeah, so that's thyme. And I often piggyback thyme and oregano on the Vitaflex points of the feet. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the raindrop technique that Gary created. Do you guys know it? I'm assuming you, yeah, Tina. Are you qualified, Tina? Raindrop? No, okay. Do you know about the raindrop, Barbara? Yep, yeah. So anyone watching the replay, it's basically a bunch of oils, 7 or 8, and you put them on in a certain order along the Vitaflex points of the feet, and then use different feathering actions to put them along the back, and it helps to support the immune system. It also helps to rehydrate the intervertebral discs, so you can actually grow taller after a raindrop. And sorry, Tina, I was just reading hubby's music's too loud to unmute. That's okay. Good on him. Yeah, so I've just, I guess, intuitively a little bit taken those 2 out of that raindrop run for any lurking lurgies in winter. And you can also put them in a capsule because they're just herbs, but they're very potent. So I would also dilute. Oh, cool. Yeah, Tina just said in the chat she learned it from Alan and Linda, but hasn't done any qualifications. We had were lucky enough to do a recreational raindrop event as well a couple of years ago. So we spoke to Alan and Linda just recently. We had their annual Young Living convention and asked about doing another one. So just for all the new members that are more recent, there's lots of people that seem to be interested. So, and yeah, with great results. So that's really cool. So what's that for? And number 5 is probably RC. But having said that, any type of eucalyptus probably achieves the same thing. What we do with RC, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, obvious to me because I've been doing this for long enough, but RC is code for respiratory care, I think, but we're not allowed to say that. And it's eucalyptus and peppermint and lavender and a couple of others, and it's beautiful for airway support. So any sort of breathing and just decongestion, things like that. Now you can use it any number of ways. Diffuse it, obviously, not obviously, stop saying that, Kerry. Anyway, diffuse it because then it's in the air of the room you're in, so it helps clear the airways. You can put it with some coconut oil and make it into a little chest rub, which is great for children. Another one is just putting directly onto the feet for small children and then putting socks over. I used to do that a lot when my little babes were little, just so that they didn't rub their hands in it or anything like that, and just held it there, seemed to support them overnight. A drop in the corner of the shower before you have a shower, or even, if you've got younger children, put it in, turn the shower on, steam up the bathroom, and then just let them sit in the bathroom and breathe it in as an alternative to diffusing. If they're having a bath, like run it in the shower if you've got 2 in the same room. What else? I often put just a drop on the pajama shirt so that it's not necessarily always on their skin, but they still get the benefit overnight. Or put a little hanky in their pajama pocket if they've got a pocket, just to, and for me, I put it all over me, but can also just run it along the top of the pillow before I go to bed. And sorry, thank you, Joe, for the actual facts. So RC has eucalyptus globulus, myrtle, marjoram, pine, eucalyptus radiata, eucalyptus, another one, citrodora, lavender, cypress, black spruce, and peppermint. There's a whole lot more in there than I remembered. So
I didn't realize it had marjoram in it.
I didn't realize either. Joe's a big fan of marjoram.
Oil.
Of course it has marjoram in it. I didn't know about marjoram until I met Joe.
Oh, you will now. It's beautiful.
But
marjoram and lavender.
Well, interestingly, marjoram's in the raindrop
yes
kit as well. So
thank you.
Yeah, so that's
because I used marjoram recently, as I've used the raindrop technique on myself recently, where I made up the blend that you sent me, and it was very amazing.
Bang on.
So thank you so much.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So they're probably my top ones. I don't know if you guys have anything to add. And I heard something really interesting the other day and actually tried it because it was just the way it was. But someone said put digize on the bridge of your nose if you have a blocked nose. And I found myself, I lay down the other night in the hotel and I got a waft of the washing powder on the pillowcase and instantly got a little bit congested. Anyway, reached out to this pouch of oils that is pretty much wherever I am, put my hand on one, sniffed it and went, that's digize. Okay, let's give this a crack. And I did. I just rubbed a drop across here and it was almost instant. It was very interesting. So there's one to try if you're feeling adventurous. And another one I heard today, I love member testimonials because that's how I learn as well. But I knew about using peppermint on the feet to help cool. So, for fevers and things like that. But the member I was speaking with today does peppermint and orange diluted and along the spine as a support for fever. So that was interesting.
That would be really nice. Unusual, but really nice. Was that an adult or a child?
Well, she was saying she doesn't like to say use it on a child, but she said that was how she had used it. So she did dilute it. And I mean, you go with your gut for that sort of thing.
For sure.
Thanks, Tina. Balsam fir is a great decongestant on the chest as well.
Oh, good.
And if you look at, I'm not going to talk about the wellness oils tonight because they're pretty self-explanatory and they've got all the details with each oil, but I know frankincense is listed in that wellness kit for decongestant as well, isn't it? But for those of you watching that don't know, Young Living has a whole bunch of oils. Is it 12, 10 or 12? Never remember. With a white label. I'm just trying to see if I've got a white like this instead of the coloured label. And these are their wellness oils. And what they've done is they've worked closely with the TGA to get approval to actually state that they can be used for the purposes listed for each oil. So obviously being a natural alternative, people who don't make natural products get a little bit unhappy about people saying that the natural products are good. So we have to be careful with compliance and things like that with what we say. But those wellness oils, you actually can state used in aromatherapy too, and the reasons. So if you don't know what they are, reach out and I'll post a link. Otherwise, have a look in your virtual office next time you log in, and they're all listed there. And when you get the kit, it comes with a beautiful little laminated set of cards that speak to each oil and what it can do. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to touch quickly on a couple of supplements. I don't know. It's funny. Oh, Tina, you superstar. Link is posted, and then I'll put it under the recording as well. So the three I'll talk about very briefly are beautiful Ningxia. So Ningxia is packed full of antioxidants. It's packed full of citrus oils, which have lots of lovely vitamin C in them, and it's also so supportive to detoxing. So if you're not having 50 mils of Ningxia a day during winter, do it. I add citrus oils as well as what's in there through winter, just because, you know, vitamin C, team vitamin C, bring it on. And what else was I going to say about that? I don't like drinking cold drinks, particularly in winter. So I just add some warm water to my Ningxia and have it more like a tea than a cold drink. The other one is mineral essence. I really love this oil, this supplement. It's really, I need some now. It really energizes me. And it's over 60. Oh, there's a recipe for Ningxia tea. Thanks, Tina. I didn't know that. I just kind of, you know, mix. I'm a bit of a witch in the kitchen. I like to just tinker and yeah, so mineral essence over, oh, thanks, Tina's going to post that link. So the recipe, so Ningxia tea for many. I got really worried that the warm water might denature it, but I just don't have it hot enough that it will make any difference, I don't think. Yeah, just not hot boiling. Yeah, so mineral essence is lots of essential minerals, over 60, I think. It's fairly common knowledge now that the soil, even if you eat really clean, the soils are generally in Australia pretty lacking in most nutrients. So depleted. Yep, so right, Tina. So any help you can give yourself is good. And particularly over winter, just keep that immune system really strong. So some people say that they mix their mineral essence with Ningxia. I don't like to contaminate my Ningxia. The mineral essence is kind of, I call it a little bit hot and spicy. I take it under the tongue directly and it's like a turbocharged hit. But yeah, some people put it in a bit of Ningxia and then drink it and then have more Ningxia after. It's quite a strong taste if you're not used to it. And some people, Tina's just said capsules in the chat, so you can squirt it into a few capsules and swallow it that way, which is probably not a bad idea if you're not into hardcore minerals. And the other one supplement that I always have on hand in winter in particular is Inner Defense. And I had planned to bring the bottle in to show you, but it's in the fridge. So that's okay. So inner defense are like your natural antibiotic capsules. They are full of beautiful oils. So your oregano and thyme are in there. Bear with me and I'll get it up here so I can tell you exactly.
Have you got your book there? I can have a look if you want.
Yeah, I got it here. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, I was not...
You're all over it though. Thank you. So yeah, it says in the death guide, it's our defense and protection in today's toxic environment. It can be difficult to maintain a healthy functioning immune system with constant exposure to harmful viruses, bacteria, poor diet, devitalized food, polluted water, etc., etc. So these capsules have the Thieves Blend, which is clove, lemon, eucalyptus radiata, rosemary, cinnamon bark, and also oregano, thyme, and lemongrass. And if you know anything about those three alone, they are pretty amazing. Forgot about lemongrass. Lemongrass is really good for sealing tight junctions. So not only good for immune support, but the gut, which essentially is the gateway to the immune system anyway, really. If your gut's busted, you're not going to have great immune support. And with those...
you won't retain the minerals.
Absolutely. Yep. You don't absorb anything as well either.
A little bit of lemongrass, like as in one drop, seriously, in homemade chicken soup. Next level. So good. So good. Highly recommend.
Let's try that. I love purification, and I actually use that in winter as well along the spine if I get crook. But I just love the lemongrass in that. And with the inner defense, so it's 1 to 2 capsules daily in the morning. Or one capsule 3 to 5 times a day when you're stressed, or to eliminate bacterial and viral infections. That's the directions that they give with them. And the other thing they talk about is taking the Life 9 probiotic 8 hours after the inner defense. So ideally take inner defense in the morning and then Life 9 of an evening. So yeah, that's that. And then I think, there are 1,000 others. I don't know. Do you guys have any favorites that you think are worth mentioning?
I do. In winter, I absolutely love nutmeg oil in my porridge. I just can't. I can't have it without it. It's just too good. It's so good. And when I run out, can they just bring it out in a bigger bottle? It would be so good. Because now I just order 2 at a time. But yeah, it's really good, potent, and like I use nutmeg a lot actually, and cinnamon, but I like nutmeg more. I also use nutmeg in my smoothies, so banana and berries with protein powder, a little bit of almond milk, and some nutmeg is really nice. But yeah, it's delish with the porridge, so good, so good,
beautiful.
Yeah, and it's very good. Nutmeg's very good for the adrenals as well.
It is too. Thank you, Tina, for reminding me. The other thing I was going to touch on was ears.
For winter, yeah.
Tina has said purification for earache. So we are the earache queens in this house. We used to be. Thankfully, we don't really have too many anymore. But if you do find, you've got kids or yourself with funny ears, never put essential oil directly in the ears, but a drop of oil on a cotton bud, the cotton ball, same thing, and just sit it in the ear hole. And the other thing I do is lymph kind of drainage massage all down here and along here. That's also good to prevent swimmer's ears. Saved us when we did swimming lessons, says Tina. Yep, so good. So just massaging around this area and really release through here. This is all lymph drainage, and you can even do the armpit, and it's if you stick your thumb in under there and rotate it 8 times clockwise, and that will help the drainage. The oils that I've used with success, it's been different all the time. We started with basil because that was what was the Jess reference said, and then the kids hated the smell of basil, so we then went on to purification. And once I got stuck without purification, I've used Thieves. And that was off a live that Alan did one day, because he said the fumes of the Thieves will kill it. The one thing I would say with the oils and ear stuff, if it just starts to get better, keep using it for a little bit longer than you think, because one time we did it and we treated it and everyone was hunky-dory, and then we stopped, and the next day it came back with a punch. So then we had to go again for a little bit longer. But yeah, so powerful. I had so many ear infections as a child, and to have the oils to support that for my children is so much better than, I used to have Sofradex drops and bloody amoxil every time I got an ear infection. So good to have the oils instead. You're doing some Reiki there, Barbara, or are you warming your hands?
It's my dog.
Bless. The other things I was just going to touch on is basic sort of lifestyle stuff. I'm mindful of the time. It's already been half an hour, so I don't want to keep you for too much longer, but just the simple things for winter. So in Ayurveda, which is something I'm studying and very passionate about, it's basically the science of living, and it's body, mind, spirit, soul. Winter is the time to build ojas. So everyone, well, not everyone. I used to think, oh, winter's rubbish, it's cold and you just get fat and you eat rubbish and you just want to eat, you don't want to move and all the things. But think of it as the time to build up your system and build all kind of good stuff. So ojas is, it's like good tissue, regeneration, things like that. So whilst you want to eat warm and cooked foods, don't have them too heavy. So, a little less apple crumble with cream and a little less of the thick, heavy curries, but just nice, light, warming, delicious ones. And even though you may not feel like moving, do a little bit. Like if it's a brisk walk to warm you up, or maybe some gentle yoga, just little things like that will make the most difference coming into spring. Hydration is obviously very important. I don't really do cold drinks ever. I definitely don't do them in winter, because your system, to maintain sort of the body temperature, a warm one will need your body to work less to absorb it, I guess. I love ginger tea, lots of warm water, beautiful oils. I love dajars for tea, warm lemon water. We've got so many beautiful oils you can. Always forget water in winter. Maybe put some tea bags out and sip a few more cups of tea or something. But yeah, it's easy to do. And I guess I feel like sometimes I dry out more in winter just because of, if I'm sitting around the fire or something for too long, and then I'm like, more water. So hydration, sleep is really important. Sleep's important all year round, but if you can get to bed, the wind is so dry. Wind makes me crazy. Get yourself to bed before 10 o'clock would be ideal. Obviously not for everyone, but because after 10 is when it's the pitta time of night, and 10 till 2 is when all the cells do their major rejuvenating. So if you can have those lights out before 10, your body will definitely thank you for it. And if you can't, just do the best you can. So sleep, hydration, nutrition, so nourishing, warm and cooked foods are the best, lighter rather than heavier. And sticky date pudding's good in small amounts.
And sunshine, and winter sunshine.
Definitely, get yourself out into nature, out into the sun when you can. So that morning sun, or a midday, lie on the grass and soak it up like a lizard. That's where you'll find me. And then just always have fun, find people that make you laugh and bring the joy, do things that make you happy. So that's probably about it. There's plenty more, but that'll do for now. So if you have any questions, by all means, pop them below the recording or reach out, and we're very, very happy to support you, or any other tips and tricks that you love for winter as well.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Kaz.
Pleasure.
So much information. We're just so lucky, I think, aren't we, to have all the resources that we have. It's kind of
very, very blessed. Gary Young was a true visionary, and I'm so grateful for all the work he did for us.
He really was. And I just sat down after we'd been to conference on the weekend or to convention on the weekend. I thought, I'll just write down a list of the oils that I want in my June order. It's like almost a page. So I'm going to have to cull, I think. But anyway,